Question number 6. Here you have one CSV file that contains customer complaints. Okay, it has something like logged date as a year, month, date, and at and time. Now you want to analyze by complaints as a logged date and built-in date hierarchy. Okay, now what can we do? The option you can see here, four options. First, apply the parse function from data transformation. It will not work. And data type of logged column we need to change to date. It's not possible because it contains time also. And splitting it using a add delimiter, that will work. So option is C. Create a column by example that start with 2018 12 31. This will also work, but easy option is C. So we are using C option. Let us see in Power BI desktop. Okay, transform data. I have some sample data with compliant values. Okay, logged values and compliant values. Now you can see first step we can split it by delimiter. Okay, space at space, we can do space at space, give OK. It will split it into both and automatically the data type will get changed. Okay, now it is a date table, so it is a data type of date, so date hierarchy will be created once I apply changes. Okay, you can see here hierarchy is changed. This is a logged date, this is a logged time. Okay, so the option C will be correct. By creating it with an example will also work, but it needs more time. You can see home, transform data, compliant, deleting all the steps. Okay, this is the actual data. If I create it with columns from example, two thousand 12 31. Okay, automatically it detects everything. Enter OK. Now you can see this is created, but the data type is text. We need to change it to date, but in the previous example it automatically data type is changed. Okay, now home, close and apply. Okay, you can see for this also this one is created, but two steps we need to do manually. That's why option C is a easy one. If option C is not available, you can choose option D, then you can choose option B. Okay, data type we are changing manually now. 7. Here they said they have one query named all sales. Okay, they want to plan to create a star schema by separating columns into separate queries. Okay, how they are separating the columns? By using three queries: sales fact, product dimension and customer dimension. All these three queries will use source as a all sales. Okay, let us see. I have already imported one all sales query. Okay, this is the data available for the all sales. Okay, now from this all sales query we need to create sales fact, product dimension and customer dimension. This need to be with a minimized maintenance effort. Okay, how you can create this sales fact query? Okay, which query we need to clear data load, like that the question is given. Okay, first you can see the option to create the sales fact. What is the options are available? Duplicate. Duplicate will maximize the effort, but we need to minimize the effort. So first two option got eliminated. Next option is reference all sales query, reference customer dimension query. Actually the given is all sales query, okay, we need to use all sales query, so reference all sales query is the correct answer. And second question, clear enable load for. Once we created all the requirement, the source data we used is all sales, so we need to clear the data load for all sales only. Let us see how to do this in the Power BI. This is the all sales query. From this query we are creating the reference, okay, name this as a sales fact. In sales fact we can remove the product details, that product name, category, and customer details. Customer ID and product ID need for a reference, okay. Unit price and quantity need for some calculation, so remaining details, removing the remaining details. And again I am referencing the all sales, name it as product dimension. Now it contains only the requirement of products, that is product ID, product name, and product category. Remaining all columns you can remove other columns. Likewise from all sales you are creating another reference that is named customer dimension. Here you can remove all the things other than the customer details. Okay, now you can see we are referencing all sales. For sales fact all details are there, only the name, that content we removed. For product dimension, product ID, name, category. Customer dimension, customer ID, name, and customer city. Once we created all this, we just clear enable load. Here you can see enable load is ticked, you need to disable that. Once you clear that, this all sales will change into different font format, okay. Its load is cleared. Now whenever you do the source changes, for example all sales in my data, when I change any data here, for example product, this electronic, I change it as a electronics, okay, change it as electronics, replace all, okay. Now 6 replacements are there. We no need to do this replacement in all the tables, okay, it automatically reflect there. Okay, let us see here, just close and apply. Syncing. Here in sales fact, let us see that product only we changed, no. In product dimension we see the product name, category. You can see electronics. S is reflected here without touching product dimension table in source. That's why we are referencing all sales. Right. You have a folder that have 50 JSON files, okay. For example, just for an example, I just created a JSON folder with just 2 JSON files. Like that you have something like 50 JSON files. In Power BI desktop you need to make only the metadata is available as a single data set, okay, not store the actual data of the JSON file. That is your requirement, okay. which data source type you need to use. Inside folder only JSON contains, so folder type we need to use. Transformation, it needs only the metadata, not the actual data. So we can delete the actual data, that is content column we can delete. Attribute column, deleting will not effective because it doesn't contain any actual data, and combining the files of content column will increase the size. We don't need the content column, that's what it do not need the need to store the data. Data means content, okay, so we are deleting the content. Expanding the attribute will also not work. Okay, let us see this in a hands-on. In folder I have JSON folder, I have two JSONs. Now try to get data from the folder. The folder name is JSON. Okay, it asks us to browse the folder. I am going to the JSON folder, selecting that, click OK. Okay, now JSON is imported. Just transformation type, you can click transform data. Here the need is not to store the actual data, so content is the actual data, so delete this one. Okay, content, we don't need this content like item name, category, price, this one they don't need it, that's what they said, so simply we can delete it. Select this, remove columns. Okay, now this is a clean one, that's what the answer is, to delete the content column, and the import type is a folder. You have a Excel data source that is imported in your Power BI desktop. Okay, now the Excel data source is moved to a new location, you are changing the location of it. Now you want to update the new location. What are the three ways they are asking? Okay, let us see this in a practical way. For example, I have one dataset sample. Okay, I have one sample data set that is imported in my Power BI desktop, which contains three columns. Okay, where it is located? It is located in the data folder. Now I try to change the new location inside the new folder. Now I refresh the Power BI desktop, it will throws me the error, could not find the file. Okay, that's what they are mentioning. What the three ways to clear this error? Okay, first step, in Power BI service you want to change the data set, configuring the data source credential. This will not actually work because that data source credential will help you to change the authentication values like username, password, like that, so that will not work. Next, second option B, data source settings in Power BI desktop, configure file path. Yes, that will work. Go to here, file, okay, close this error, file, options and settings, data source settings. Here this sample CSV file, I am changing the source, which is inside the new folder. Okay, now it's worked. Okay, this is one of the way. Now I am discarding the changes, so next method we can see. So option B is correct. Next, option C, from the current file in Power BI desktop, configure the data load settings. This will also not work because data load settings will not help you to find out the file path. Okay, option D, Power Query Editor, use the formula bar to configure. Okay, try to go to Power Query Editor. Here in source settings, formula bar, this is the formula bar, you can edit the path, file path. So option D will work. Option E, advanced editor in Power Query, configure in M code. Go to advanced editor. Okay, here in M code also you can able to change. So only the three ways. One, this advanced editor, another one this formula bar, another one this options and settings. Okay, data source 1. Question number 10. Here they given two tables, date and sales. They have the respective columns and it has some values. Okay, now what they are saying, it has one DAX measure called total sales, that is sum of sales it calculating. Now we want to create another measure which is named as a previous quarter. What does it do? It need to display the sales one quarter before the selected period. For example, if you are selecting the second quarter, if the total sales value need to be previous quarter, first quarter value. Okay. Now let us see the option. First option, calculate date add date minus one quarter. This may be shoot for this question because previous quarter means we can minus one quarter using the date add function. And second one, dates q to d. This will not work. And third one, total q to d. That one also not work. And last one, parallel period. Okay, this will not work. In this case we need one quarter before, so that minus one first option will work, remaining three will not work. Let's see in this hands on. Okay, I have created one table, date table and sales table with the same given values. They mentioned one measure with named total sales. Okay, now we want to create another measure that need to be named as a previous quarter. Okay, previous quarter. Now what's the formula we want to examine? Calculate. We need to calculate the total sales. Okay, here what function we need to do? Date add function. What's the value here? We need to give date of. Okay, date table. Here I named the date table as a 10 and the date column we need, and we need to minus 1 from that. In which point of view? Quarter. Okay, this is the function we are trying to use here. Okay, the function is displayed here. Now try to show it as a visual for your clear understanding. We need to see this as a quarter and the total sales and it in the previous quarter. Now you can see when I am selecting Q2, the previous quarter value is 370, that is quarter 1 value. Likewise for Q3, likewise for Q4. So the answer is A.